Hello, sir. How are you?
Dusty.
Dusty?
Nah, I'm good as mate.
No, good, man. It's good to be back. It's good to be back into a book. I'm really excited about this. I think, the discussions that we've been having off the mic is we've been talking about doing this for a long time, and I
Mm,
don't think we were ready to do it. I
no.
think we need our knowledge base and everything else like that needed to be at a certain level, and I think it's at that level. We're
Okay.
talking about Triptych. Again, look, Triptych Part 2, Missing Link Part 2.
Triptych Echoes.
Triptych Echo, somewhere in there. I'll figure that out later. Don't
Yeah.
worry about that. However, John's not with us tonight. It's his daughter's birthday, so happy birthday, Johnny's daughter.
Happy birthday.
And we're going to crack on. Uh, we do want to go through some of the Aussie stuff and a few other little bits and pieces. We wanted to wait for John to be back to do that because I think there's a good three-way conversation to be had. For now, we're going to jump straight back into The Missing Link, the book on the triptych by Richard Cassaro. Without further ado, sir,
Slipping straight in.
slipping straight in. I like it. All right. Cool. So we're starting with the west facade. What church is that? I was trying to, we probably should see. Where's John? See straight away. We need you, man.
Straight away, we've created a need, and now he's not here, and we're like, we're at,
Oh, dude, what church?
what church that
What
is.
church is that? We don't know anymore. Anyway, we can see here it's the left is a Masonic tracing board titled The Master's Carpet from the Masonic Monitor circa 1820. The images depict Freemasonry key symbols, the sun, the moon, and the all-seeing eye, the mystical eye. Straight up, let's go, mate.
Let's go.
For all its
Let's go.
ubiquity, yeah,
Ubiquity.
there you
Yeah.
go. I just tried to read that
For all
word.
its yeah. All right.
For all its ubiquity, the tracing board is an enigma to modern Masons, esoteric authors, and even occult researchers. They are unsure of its purpose and unaware of its symbolism. We can start to understand the cathedral code by looking at the two tall twin towers flanking the main entrance. When comparing these twin towers to the twin pillars on the tracing board, which Masons called Jachin and Boaz, we find a match. A century ago, Masonic historian Walter L. Wilmhurst, 1867 to 1939, the twin pillars have been incorporated into the Christian architecture. If you recall the construction of the York Minster or the Westminster Abbey, you'll recognise the pillars in the two great towers flanking the main entrance. It's coming from the Meaning of Masonry in 1922. Just a little aside, I would love to find books prior to World War Two. Like the gap between World War One and World War Two, there was so much research and so much stuff done that it'd be very interesting. A lot of the really, I mean, that's when Australia's Stonehenge was found. Like there's so much that World War Two basically wiped out
Yeah.
because as we've discussed before, we're dealing with a narrative post World War Two.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. We can see here the Westminster Abbey and the York Minster. The York Minster is actually a bit more detailed, isn't it, than the Westminster Abbey? Isn't that
It
fascinating?
is a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit more detail and a bit more ornate masonry on the York Minster as opposed to the Westminster Abbey. Very similar though. The two towers, we've got the
You can definitely
rose window,
see
we've got the
the
triptych, we've got the three
similarities.
windows, the everything. It's all there. It's
Pretty
all
much. The silhouette's very much the same.
very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, the twin pillars had held great importance for medieval stonemasons who went to great lengths to memorize them in architecture. Newly initiated masons are told that these twin pillars once decorated the facade of King Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. The pillars, who were erected by Solomon at the porch of the temple, on the right hand, Jachin, and on the left hand, Boaz. We have created something, because I was about to go, how did the temple of Solomon get destroyed, John?
Mm.
Because I just had a weird thought that I think the story goes is that the Ark of the Covenant might have destroyed the Temple of Solomon potentially because they used
I
the Ark of the
I
Covenant
feel like
as
a
a weapon.
blasphemer the fact that
We don't know.
well, I feel like it could be the flood.
Oh, you reckon it might be the flood?
I'm gonna say it's the flood
Okay.
because the whole story, Solomon used the demons to build the thing,
Mm.
and then everything went bad at the end. You know, the Tower of Babel, the bloody
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people
Right.
started speaking the same language
That's
and stuff
right.
like
It
that,
was not
and they
good. Yeah.
needed to separate everyone.
Hmm.
So they had to destroy that line. So, look,
Let's go with that.
a lot of people are going to kick me, and at other
Doesn't matter.
times in my memory,
We know
I would have
exactly.
recalled that straight away, but for some reason I've got a block right now. But
Well,
I'm going to say it's a flood.
isn't it? Oh, actually, hang on. Cheers, mate. We're
Cheers,
drinking out of the skulls of our enemies. Like that's what we do here.
like true rulers,
Um,
like two kings.
two kings. Yeah. Look, you are right. And what's fascinating about this, everyone, is that behind the scenes we're having multiple discussions because so much of the research that we did 4 years ago is dropping back in and intermingling with the new research. It's a fascinating thing. This is going to be a cool experience. Um, where are we? Most Masons are satisfied with this explanation. They don't realize there's a much deeper, more profound meaning behind these twin pillars. It is my contention that these twin pillars form the foundation of the ancient universal religion. They enshrine a very mysterious secret of the number two, what I call the doctrine of duality. This is easily apparent when we re examine the tracing board. Note how the right hand pillar, Jachin, is capped by the sun, the left hand pillar, Boaz, is capped by the moon. Now, traditionally, the sun is the masculine and the moon is the feminine.
Correct.
There's a much more detailed picture of the tracing board for those watching at home. The sun and the moon, as depicted in the tracing board, are critically important symbols. The world's first cultures all perceive the sun and the moon as perfect opposites or perfect pairs of opposites. Everything here in the visible universe in which we live and move and have our physical existence has an equal opposite, just like the yin yang symbol, just like the twin Jake and Boaz pillars in Freemasonry, which are of equal size and shape, and just like the twin S shapes on the swastika. Okay. Uh, so, and again, for those, because of the current climate that we live in, and people like to throw the word Nazi around, the swastika is actually a symbol of peace that we can see here, found in Tibet, formed by two S symbols opposing one another. One S symbolizes the sun, the other S symbolizes the moon. It's a very ancient symbol. It's actually one of the very ancient 33 symbols that are found on cave art, Tibetan Buddhism, all those sorts of things. It's obviously was used for what it was used for.
Just one of many symbols that have been taken over
Hmm.
by more modern uh, groups.
Groups.
Let's
Yeah,
call it.
let's just say groups.
Yeah.
That's fine. We don't need to say anymore. But how exactly do the sun and the moon convey opposites? They do so by the following formula. The sun rules the day, but the moon rules the night. The day brings the light, but the night brings the darkness. The light brings the hot, but the darkness brings cold. The hot brings dry, but the cold brings moist. The day symbolizes life, but the night symbolizes death. Life is considered good, but death is considered evil. Now, I agree with all apart from the last one. Note how these are all pairs of opposites: sun, moon, day, night, light, dark, hot, cold, dry, moist, life, death, good, evil. By this chain of associations, the sun and the moon engender and denote all the pairs of opposites in the universe. There's more. Both heavenly bodies show their faces for an average of 12 out of 24 hours daily, exactly half each.
Yeah. That's a very, exactly is a very strong word
Exactly,
there.
is a very.
There's a lot of
It
variation.
only happen like once a year that it's 12 and 12.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that
Well,
the equinox? Isn't
no,
that?
but that's the length of time in the day,
Yeah.
not the amount of time. Like the moon is apparent quite often,
Yes.
but then I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's,
Exactly half each is a
yeah.
bit of a strong way to say.
Look, I'm happy to be wrong, but I
Yeah.
feel like
Mm.
it's not.
No.
Anyway,
I get what he's trying to say. This fits in perfectly with the opposites being equal and opposing, yet complementary and balancing. The idea that the sun and the moon show their faces on average 12 hours each out of a 24-hour day, half each, is more than just a bit odd. To ancient people, this must have seemed an interesting coincidence.
look, it's close enough to half
It's
half
close
that you
enough to
can,
half, but it's drawing. Look,
but yeah,
we can speak about it. It's drawing a long bow. Like
yeah.
if you remember in the EFS series, Max drew a few long bows as well, right? So we've come across our first long bow.
We've all been known to draw a long bow from time to
Absolutely.
time. So
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
bingo.
There are even more striking parallels. When viewed from Earth, the sun and the moon appear exactly the same size, and our sky as if they were perfect opposites. The sun is larger, but the moon is much closer, ensuring both orbs appear the same size in the sky. This is exceedingly unlikely, and astronomers of all ages have marveled at this strikingly odd coincidence.
I believe the number we're looking for is 400. I
Mm.
believe the sun is 400 times larger, but the moon is 400 times
Times closer.
closer.
Yeah.
Hence why they appear the same. Hence why the solar eclipse works because the moon is able to eclipse the sun.
The solar eclipse works because the moon was parked there. I don't know.
Yes.
Well, listen, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Well, it was
Like
parked
it
there
was parked there.
exactly 400, exactly the ratio
Mm,
of the size difference closer
mm.
if you want to. It's a spaceship.
Hey, John, what's the chances of that actually happening? What's the?
Yeah. Just pull that up, John. What's the, yeah.
We missed
What's
you,
the
man.
statistical likelihood?
We miss you, dude. Yeah. Uh,
There's a giant hole.
there's
Giant hole in this place.
there's a pole missing from the tripod,
God
mate.
damn it.
Uh, Not only do the sun and the moon engender and denote all the pairs of opposites in the physical universe, but they appear to us to be exactly the same size in our sky. Wilmer said that the twin pillars on the tracing board, which are capped by the sun and the moon, stand for what is known as the pairs of opposites. Everything in nature is dual and can only be known in contrast with its opposite. I wouldn't mind, we should try and find that book, The Meaning of Masonry. I wonder if
Yeah.
there's any copies around of it. Secret.
Stick it, tick it.
The Secret Teachings of All Ages, Freemason Manly Hall. I've heard that name before, Manly Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So that rings a bell. Jake and the White Pillar of Light, Boaz the Shadowy Pillar of Darkness. These two pillars respectively connote also the active and the passive, the sun and the moon, the good and the bad, the light and the darkness. As Jewish mystic Warren Kenton, Zev ben Shimon Halevi, tells us, the twin columns of France's charters, charters,
Chartres.
chartreuse,
Yeah. CH
yeah,
in French.
ch, sure,
SH.
sure, sure, yeah, are capped with iron plates of the sun and the moon. We can see that there, the Twin Towers of France in the Chartres Cathedral. Erected by the Masons, the west front of each church has two towers representing the twin columns, the masculine and feminine aspects, the active and passive forces flowing down from heaven, called in Chartres Cathedral the Sun and Moon Towers. Warren Kenton, Introduction to the Kabbalah.
And we note there that it's Kabbalah with a C.
Kabbalah with a C.
So Kabbalah with a C is the Christian Kabbalah.
Ah, yes. Kabbalah with the K is the
Jewish Kabbalah.
Jewish Kabbalah.
And Kabbalah with a Q
Is
the fucking.
Islamic.
Is it? No, it's not. I think we've got this mixed up.
No, with the Quran is with a Q, and that's the Islamic. The C and the K is right.
I'm pretty sure Kabbalah with a Q is it's esoteric.
Okay.
It's more Masonic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Hang on. Just continue on. Let me do my best John impersonation.
Note how Kenton here mentions the masculine and the feminine aspects. That's because man and woman also fall into these pairs of opposites. In the early 20th century, architect Claude Bragdon wrote, "Man, like the sun, is lord of the day. He is like fire, a devastating force. Woman is subject to the lunar rhythm. Like water, she is soft, sinuous, fecund." The Masonic guilds of the Middle Ages were custodians of the esoteric. The north and right-hand tower, the man's side, was called the sacred male pillar, Jachin. The south or left-hand tower, the woman's side, the sacred female pillar, Boaz. Looking at the Grand Master certificate of the 16th century heretic Giordano Bruno below, we see a male pillar crowned by the sun on the right-hand side and a female pillar crowned by the moon on the left. Yeah, we can see that. And the thing is, too, we've also, like I said, when John comes back, we'll go through some of the Aussie stuff. And a small church in Gympie, where the private school is, has the moon and the sun on the left and the right.
Yeah.
Like literally, it's literally represented everywhere.
Yeah. Well, the Catholic cathedrals that are built here in Ipswich in the 1850s
Same thing.
have the same thing. So Jewish mysticism is with a K. and Western esotericism, Hermeticism,
Is with the
is with a
Q.
Q.
Look at that. You see, you were right, mate. We shouldn't. We
Shouldn't doubt myself
should
like that.
exactly. We know what we're talking about. Apparently,
Rarely.
yeah. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we are sophomaniacs. We are people
Absolutely.
with the delusion that we are intelligent. The same pairs of opposites, symbolism encoded in the twin towers of the western facade of the Gothic cathedrals. The Masons did this because the great wisdom of the pairs of opposites doctrine lies not only within the fact that the universe is composed of pairs of opposites, but also in the fact, like the universe, man is also formed by opposites.
Sorry, bro. Just hold up there for a second. Has that dude got a juicy set of tits?
No, it's a girl.
No, on the left.
Oh, he does too.
He's got
He's got some.
juicy set of
His cuts
tits.
that. I don't know that they're actually pecs by the looks of them.
They do not look pecky at all.
No, we
Mate,
need.
they look very fertile.
Gee, I'm right about that. Yeah, that might get us kicked off YouTube.
Dude,
Picture like
that it just caught my eye. I was like, geez, that's a nice. Hey,
hang
why
on.
is that?
Why
Why
is
does
that
that
masculine?
tits got a beard?
It's 2025, mate.
Jesus. Yeah, well, look, they
Yes.
were more progressive than we gave them credit for back in the 1300s. Jesus. Good on them. Everyone loves a good set of tits.
As above, so below is an esoteric occult phrase used by many who yet fail to grasp its deeper meaning. Man lives inside the universe, not separately from it, and thus our physical bodies are made of the same pairs of opposites as the universe. Our life is a mingled yarn, good and evil together. Shakespeare's All's Well That Ends Well. Geez, there's a conversation about Shakespeare with some of the background research we've been doing, isn't there?
Yeah, well,
Whether or not he was actually real.
that's funny of you to say,
Mm,
Mr. Francis Bacon,
mm.
John D,
John D. Yeah,
possibly
something else.
that other dude,
The other guy, Bob.
Warren somebody.
Yeah, Warren and Fred. And the Gothic facade seen above is not only a depiction of the polarity of the universe, it is a symbol of the polarity of the physical human body as well. Each person has two hands, two arms, two legs, and so forth, split into symmetrical halves, the sun half and the moon half. The human's body bilaterally symmetrical appearance is a product of the duality of the universe. When we get to the end of this chapter, I've got a fresh idea I wanted that's percolating
Okay.
discussion.
Hit me.
Man has been called the microcosm or little world. In contradistinction, there's a new word, to the macrocosm or great world, by reason of a supposed correspondence between the different parts and qualities of his nature and those of the universe. Albert Mackey, an encyclopedia of Freemasonry. Yeah, we can just see just a pictorial illustration there. The ancients believed that the right side of our body is male and solar, while our left side is female and lunar. Freemason Manly Hall, who was widely recognized as an expert on ancient symbolism, wrote, I've got a book by Manly Hall.
That's where the name's coming up.
I've got a book. Yeah,
Okay.
in the boxes.
Is it on ancient symbolism?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Strange.
Yeah, strange. Yeah. In ancient times, men fought with their right arms and defended with their left arms. The right side of the body was considered masculine and the left side feminine, which is the reason, as you would know, we shake hands with our right hand because that is saying that we don't have a weapon. And the reason too used to be actually forearm to forearm because people used to carry daggers in their right forearm because you could draw the dagger and use the sword, right? And that's also why we drive on the left hand side of the road traditionally, is so you could actually defend yourself from your horse.
Yes, because horseback we used to
pass on the
right,
so you could defend yourself.
You know who it was that fucking stopped that?
Who?
I'm pretty sure
it was just Americans saying, "No, don't want to do that."
No. I think it was fucking Napoleon.
Was that?
I believe it was who changed his thing to the other side.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I think
John will be able to confirm that.
John, confirm that for us, please. Get back to me next episode.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. We'll have a list.
You'll have a
at
list
the start.
Yeah, Johnny questions that missed out on episode 2.
Just with time stamps.
I'm gonna have to send him this before we do the next one. Magician and Freemason Harry Houdini, 1874 to 1926, said in the Metaphysical magazine, according to Hindu astrology, the sun represents the right half body and the moon the left half. This is the most general division. I think what Richard's doing here is just giving us, he's just panning it into us that it is literally everywhere. You can see representations of
Straight
it
up.
everywhere. You, me, all of us are formed pairs of opposites, and this fundamental dynamic infiltrates every aspect of our lives. This recalls the age-old trope of the devil on our left shoulder and an angel on our right shoulder. That's interesting. I never thought about that one till
Mm,
just now, imploring us to do good. But is this the sad fate of man, condemned to strut and fret our hour upon the stage in a world of duality, and then be heard from no more? According to ancient and esoteric philosophy, we can transcend the number two, the duality of good and evil, and all other pairs of opposites by using the magic Masonic number three. If we knew the meaning of 3, 6, and 9, we could rule the universe.
hmm.
Nikola Tesla. Where are we?
The number three.
The number three is an important aspect of Freemasonry. It symbols the ancient three in one Trinity that predates the Christian Trinity by thousands of years. We read in the Jeremiah Howe's book, The Freemason's Manual of 1862, the triptych is actually my name as well. Not the Trinity. Triffin refers to the Trinity, the old Trinity, mind,
Yeah.
body, soul, this, left, right, ego. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my name actually originates in that. Yeah.
Yep.
In Freemasonry, the number three is the most important and universal in its application of all mystic numbers, and we find it pervading our whole ritual. The Masonic number three teaches that we are much more than just the twin opposing halves of the animal body. These twin halves don't constitute the whole man, only our physical part, the part that lives and dies on earth. The Masonic three teaches that deep down there is a spiritual part of us, a divine soul or eternal self that animates our physical body. The divine soul or higher self is who you really are. It's the inner you, the non physical spiritual you that was never born and never dies, the part you don't see in the mirror and can't detect with your five senses. It's your soul, the highest and deepest part of your being. I don't know. I saw your higher self at the back there on a couple of years ago. Mind you, we were assisted in that journey. This Masonic three-in-one religion or triptych religion was inherited from ancient cultures worldwide, and we can still see it in the ancient symbols in the ancient Taijitu, also called the yin-yang symbol, for example. Yin and yang represent, in part, the twin halves of our physical body. And crazy that they took a photo of the electron and it looks like the yin-yang. That was actually real. That happened last year, which means is that a symbol that echoes because that's actually they knew that's what it looked like once upon a time, and they put that symbol out there.
Well, I've heard there's another description where the yin yang is actually the double helix from above.
Oh yeah,
So if you
yeah.
look
If
at
you
the
look down on
double,
it,
if you look at
yeah,
it from above, it's the
right.
spiraling double helix.
Wow,
So yeah,
wow. You haven't told me that. That's
haven't I?
very no.
Mm.
That's cool. I know you haven't told me that,
I
and I
thought
haven't
that
heard
was
it,
thought it was general knowledge.
and I can see it.
So
It
sorry.
does too. It looks down. I mean, and but that comes back to we talked about the serpent mythology as well that I'm sure we'll get into along this journey, and the fact that the medical symbol, the intertwined serpents around the staff, has been
Mm,
the medical symbol for as long as anyone remembers,
mm.
and it looks like the double helix.
Yes.
Yeah. The yin and yang aspects of this symbol together express duality. We read in the Transactions of the Asiatic Society, Japan, the sun is chief visible manifestation of the yang as the moon of the yin. However, yin and yang is clearly a tripartite symbol. It has three parts. It is made up of two dualities, yin and yang, with the third part being the circle or Tao. The circle or Tao is the high unity that encompasses the duality of the yin and yang. Ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu tells us the Chinese Trinity, being the duality of yang and yin, is organized into high unity, is regarded as the source of all existence, and its symbol, the yin yang, possesses a deep religious significance for the Chinese heart. Lao Tzu Tao Te Ching. We've talked about, and we're going to see representations, and I think this is a good representation. But we discussed back in the day, if you remember, that the evidence of the triptych outside of the monotheistic religious stuff it's still everywhere. However, it got whatever culture of the time that adopted it made its own interpretation, right? Like
Mm.
we, Göbekli Tepe and you can tell that the Pillar 43's got the scorpion on it, but that's the only one of the only constellations that we recognize. But everything else is of animals from around that area. Again, a local interpretation of the same knowledge.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it was a global society, but whatever global society, when it existed, it allowed the local interpretation to take place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Because I mean the megalith stuff in China is off the chain. Those caves that look like they've been done with the scoop mark machine, and those caves go on forever. They're just full of water. Like they've only emptied two or three of them. Those caves.
Bon Jovi wrote a song once, and the first line was, "It's all the same, only the names have
That's
changed."
right. The high quoting Bon Jovi. Look at that. The high unity described is symbolized by the geometric circle with no beginning and no end. The circle symbolizes eternity, and it always has since the dawn of human civilization. The circle is a symbol of your soul. It's called Tao in Chinese thought. The circle is the eternal part of you, your true higher self, out of which all existence arises, inside which the pairs of opposites live and move and have their being. Lao Tzu tells us, he who follows the Tao is one with the Tao. Lao Tzu, Tao Te Ching, verse 23. Being at one with the Tao is eternal. Though the body dies, the Tao will never pass away. Lao Tzu, Tao Te Ching, verse 16. With this ancient Chinese symbol in mind, it's easy to see how the idea that a third force of unity ties together the twin opposites was inherited by Freemasonry. Again, there's another long bow. I don't think it was inherited by Freemasonry. I think we've put the label of Freemasonry on ancient teachings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think that yeah.
Well, we just learnt recently that the first recorded member of the Freemasons was in 1690 or
Mm,
something like that,
mm,
somewhere in the 1600s.
mm.
So that's the recorded member of the official Freemasonry of modern
Modern
times.
times, yeah.
What was it called prior to the Freemasonry existing? You know, when they came out of Tyre or
Yeah,
wherever they
exactly.
came out of,
Exactly. The
what did they
Dionysian
call
architects, the
themselves?
architects of
Yeah.
Tyre, the students of the Dionysian mysteries, the Dionysian mysteries, that has a Greek connotation. The Greeks might have stole it from Troy, who, you know what I mean? Like it goes back and back and back and back and back. And John, when was the Temple of Solomon supposedly built, mate? Thanks, bud. um, with this ancient Chinese symbol in mind, it's easy to see how the idea that a third force of unity ties together twin opposites was inherited by Freemasonry. Again, not sure about that one. It is the secret of the Masonic number 3. However, in Freemasonry, its symbol is not a circle. In Freemasonry, it is a triangle. The triangle unites the pillars of Jacob and Boaz, precisely in the same way the circle unites yin and yang. I mean that the triangle over the poles, that could be Stargate. There's the Stargate that looks a little bit like that. It's more of a. That's not a triangle though. That's more of a.
Well, look, the triangle, the square, you square the circle.
Yeah,
That's what, that's what the,
it's the whole thing. Isn't it?
yeah, hang on. That's like the symbolism of the compass and
Sextant,
nope. What's the angle, the set square.
set square.
The set square and the compass in the
Oh, in
Freemason symbol.
the actual Freemason symbol. That's
Just
what it
it's a
means. Yeah.
circle and a square.
The circle, it's square and the
Squaring the
circle.
circle.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, that's what it is,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So it's 360 degrees inside a triangle.
Hmm. Yeah,
Same as
yeah,
same as a circle.
yeah. As the triangle's apex is higher than the centered midway between its twin lower points, so your soul is higher than and centered midway between the dual halves of your animal body, the right and left, good and evil, and so on. The triangle's apex transcends its two lower points, just as your soul transcends your two lower animal halves. This is because your soul is older than and higher than your body. Your soul is also the source of your body. That's the source energy that animates us all.
It's this part of the source.
Mm. According to the biblical tale of the Garden of Eden, we have come down to this lower world after eating of the tree of knowledge, good and evil. which is the tree of knowledge of opposites. Joseph Campbell tells us the fall of your soul from perfection into duality was naturally followed by the discovery of the duality of good and evil. This is the biblical version of a myth known to many lands. Joseph Campbell, is he the Mormon guy? Joseph Campbell?
Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith, right. You have fallen from your high spiritual home in the heavens and you've landed down here in the material world of opposites, 19th century English Freemason author and occultist John Yarker tells us. According to this mystic doctrine, all souls have pre-existence and have descended from the spiritual world into the earthly prison of the body. Just going to pause there because I'm going to hand it over to you because I've been going for a little minute now.
Yeah, mate.
I was wondering, just
Yes.
a thought process, right?
Yes.
Here you go. Have that, sir. How do we do this? There you go. Sun and the moon, balance, opposites. So the moon was brought here by an ancient civilization, ancient advanced civilization, to stabilize the planet after a cataclysm, maybe not the cataclysm, but we'll just say a cataclysm.
Yep.
And just run with me here for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this ancient knowledge and this ancient technology and the magnetics and all the things that we think come through this, is this global religion, did it come from the people who put the moon here? Or the beings, or the, whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a very full thought yet.
No, it requires fleshing out and connection.
Yeah, but it's something.
I'm happy to join in.
Right.
So let's just think for a moment. So
because if the sun and moon is the duality, what I thought about was, we've spoken about before the cultures that have record. They talk about the moon not being here. So that duality that they're talking about, this balance that they're continually going on about here, would not have existed without the moon, right? And again, the female cycle is reliant on the moon. All the above, the oceans, the tides, the magnetics, the eclipses, the thousand
a lot of shit happens because of the moon.
The 10,000 craters on the moon that have been, the rocks that have been eaten on the moon instead of sent here. So it's like the moon, let's just say for a second, we'll flesh it out, play with it. The moon arriving changed the aspect of this planet in such a way that it would, that it creates this. Again, it needs fleshing. You know what I mean? Like it's a fresh idea. It literally happened as we've been.
No, I get it. And some of the, unfortunately for the idea, some of the places it's falling down is the fact that you need to be able to observe things to create stories and create myth around them and stuff like that. So without it having been here, you can't observe it, so you don't know it. Like, I feel like it's a long bow to draw for a society to come, like a civilization to come, and then be like, oh, would you look at that? I mean, is it such a long bow if they did place it, like we were saying before, 400 times closer to equal out the size difference? Maybe they came with a scripted backstory,
Yeah, that's what, sort of.
You get me? Like they were
like
already,
that,
yeah. So then they did, all right, we've put this here and here's this whole backstory of duality and triptych and God self.
But imagine the world is in chaos, right? Because it hasn't recovered from whatever cataclysmic event has happened.
Yes.
The moon comes and stabilizes that.
Yes.
That profound effect all by itself would have almost like a spiritual or religious significance for those that were existing on the planet, because they would have gone from a time of chaos into a time of calm.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like
100%.
I think there's a bit of meat on the bone there, but maybe we'll let me think more.
No, you're right, because it's the proverbial rock, the emotional rock in a relationship. It's the one who stays calm compared to the tumultuous one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, look, you could see it, and after its arrival teach of its arrival being like a change in the time and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
100%.
Mm.
Definitely.
Mm.
Longbow.
Longbow, though.
It's a longbow.
Longbow, I
It's
understand.
fleshy.
It's fleshy.
It's fleshy, but it's
and
a longbow.
I mean, it might be some ideas there we might think a bit
Yeah.
more about.
Anyway,
Take it away, sir.
getting back into the book. In other words, you are divine already. You existed before your body's birth, and you will survive your body's death. Having fallen, you are now, in a sense, imprisoned inside your animal body that mimics the duality of the universe in which your body temporarily lives. Esoteric scholar Dr. Alvin Boyd Kuhn tells us man is a god in the body of an animal according to the pronouncement of ancient philosophy.
Yeah.
Alvin Boyd Kuhn, who is this king of glory, 1944. While we're doing long bows, right, I was having this thought process, this little thought the other day. So you know how like angels and demons or whatever you want to call them like to fuck with humanity?
Yeah, the trickster element. Yeah.
Well, what if here's something that no one I've heard fucking say. What if we are them? Instead of being God's source, what if our souls, what if they're the souls in the lobby just fucking with us?
Just waiting.
You know when you play a video game, right?
Just messing around.
And some people you can spectator and you can be like, oi, go over there, do that. Or go over there, there's a dude around
I can see what's going on. Yeah.
You can see what's going on and you give hints.
Yeah.
But you only give hints that are beneficial sometimes.
Because
sometimes you like to play pranks. And you know what?
Because part of the deal coming into the meat suit is you don't remember.
That's right. You don't remember. So it could be your fucking mates up there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And more than likely, it would be your mates from human behavior.
Yeah, who know you.
It's your mates who do the worst shit.
That's
right. But also,
this will be funny. Let's make him in the meat suit do this. This will be funny. Yeah.
Well, we also take life and death so seriously because we don't have a memory of life outside of the meat suit.
We don't remember the source life. Yeah.
So, but if your mates are up there fucking floating around spiritually, well, they don't take it so seriously. So they may get you killed from time to time, but they're like, it doesn't matter because they know it doesn't matter.
But then with that,
they know it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whereas to us, it does.
It does.
Because here's the other thing, right?
Because we're experiencing the meat suit for a little while.
Because we've just jumped in the lobby. You know, it's called a skin in this day and age, man. You buy a new skin,
buy a new character.
Exactly. Right. So it's your mates who stitch you up.
I like this.
So what
down here?
Yes, please don't end my thing before I finish it.
Sorry, keep going.
That's all. Well, you've done it now. Moving on. For the
finish your thought.
Oh well, fucking, you didn't want to.
No, because I wanted to bring that in.
You wanted to interrupt me while I was talking.
No. That quote is what we're talking about, though. You know what I mean? That's what we're talking about.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. I hadn't got up to there. You should have let me fucking get up to there, I guess. No. All fun and games. All good. Look, hey, it was a fun little thought. I just thought we'd throw it out there.
No, look, it's not.
What if souls are actually the angels and demons that exist? And hey, look, your books you may have read might have different things, but who fucking really knows? We're all just guessing. So my argument is as good as anyone else's.
Level of pretending.
Yeah. Except, fuck, while I'm off on a tangent, except, you know that those episodes we were listening to the other day, the ones I put you onto, there was those couple of moments in there when names of angels and stuff like that were written down years before, like hundreds of years prior to them then being found in like Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff like that.
Well, and again, the names of the angels reflect the pantheon of gods and goddesses that go back into the Egyptian, into the Roman, into the Grecan, into the pagan.
But even so, what I'm getting at is the fact that these names, these specific names, and I can't remember which ones they were.
Gabriel was one.
Yeah, I think you're reaching. Gabriel's
Probably.
very well known. It was more like fucking Mephistopheles or something
Oh,
like.
yeah, right. Messed off. Yeah, yeah,
But it wasn't.
yeah.
But anyway, what I'm getting at is it they channeled certain entities. They've written down these names, and then years and years later, we didn't even know they existed actually. So it was one was John Dee, one was Joseph Smith, had written down names of angels, and then only hundreds of years later, like recently, like the
Yeah,
90s,
when the Dead Scrolls
we've
were released.
actually translated that name and gone, huh, fancy that. That exists. And then we're like, oh, that guy said that 200 years ago.
Okay, so
Mm,
playing with your idea,
yes.
what if the Nephilim
Yeah.
were they had their own meat suit for a time?
Yeah.
They lived longer than us, if you believe the story, right?
Hmm.
King's lists, blah blah.
Well, their meat suits lived
Their
longer than
meat
ours.
suits live longer,
Yeah.
well, and we've been capped in our telomeres. Like that's actually been proven
Yeah.
now that that someone's capped
Yes.
us at 120.
Yeah. We actually fall apart.
Right.
Yes. And stop dividing and
Yeah,
all that kind of
that's
stuff.
right.
Our cells stop dividing.
Yeah. So playing with that, they are the Nephilim, they are the angels, they are the gods and the goddesses, and it's the source energy.
Mm.
And the reason they have such power is they are part of that original creation. You know, they were the gods, goddesses.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yes. But not the ultimate God.
No,
They are the lower
the
pantheon.
lower pantheon.
Hmm,
Yeah,
hmm, hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I like it.
So true.
I like it.
Let's continue.
Continue, mate.
Alvin Boyd Kuhn, who is the king of glory, 1944. For the ancients, your fall into the human body could be perceived as a tragedy. 19th century mathematician Olympus Gregory, one of the founders of the Royal Astronomical Society, explains the Platonists in general believed in a pre-existent state in which all souls had sinned and thus lost their wings. Like we're all equals, right? All your buddies sitting in the lobby. And so they sunk into these bodies partly as a punishment for former follies.
Oh, that's interesting because that's like the idea being that you keep coming back around and reincarnating until you learn the lesson.
Somewhat, yes.
Yeah.
Olympus Gregory, The Fall of Man and the Depravity of Nature, 1815. It means you've descended down so deeply into the material world from your spiritual heavenly home that you've forgotten your true self and spiritual origin entirely. You may have amnesia of who you really are. You've lost sight of your eternal God within or soul within, which is the real you. A man is a god in ruins. Ralph Waldo Emerson, Nature, 1836.
A man is a god in ruins. That's powerful.
That's, yeah,
And the reason that I thought it, I'm sorry I interrupted you, mate.
no,
Accept my apology.
I do.
The reason I looked at that while you were talking, because it's like the quest for self, you know, all this stuff that we're coming back around to, that we're understanding how far we've come in the last 5 years, that this research is bringing up and all these sorts of things, is that we're chasing that God self. We're chasing that higher level self to give us guidance and better understanding and better knowledge to exist in this three-dimensional world, right?
Mm.
So we're forever chasing the God self within us. However, a man is a God in ruins. So then when you, like you said, when you then pass over, you know, that you now understand that you're no longer a God in ruins. You have that knowledge. You see that what you didn't see before.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think you can either understand that you are, you can understand, or well, knowing and understanding are two separate things, as we know. However, you can see that you are a God in ruin, and if you understand that by the time you reach your mortal end, then hopefully that will help you transcend to the next level, whatever that is or could be.
Could be. I don't know. Once you transcend,
It doesn't matter.
who knows?
We don't.
Do you just go back to the lobby?
We don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, does everything you thought, if you didn't, okay, let's just look.
Hey,
The only analogy.
Brian, knock twice if we're right.
There you go. Amen.
Yeah.
The only analogy that we have that we can work off of is video games. And the only analogy that works is the fact that when it's all said and done, you just respawn. You
Mm.
know, like it, unless if you achieve the things you need to, it doesn't matter what you know at the time of passing. It's have you achieved what you needed to throughout the length of that life to move on.
For the next step,
Yeah.
whatever that next step
It's
is.
it's only the Christians that allow you to repent at the end and be accepted into heaven,
Mm.
like with a cheat code,
Mm.
right? Where you just repent right at the end for all the sin that I've done, and
Yeah,
you're
as long as
you're forgiven.
you go to the confession box on Sunday, you can get away with whatever you want
Yeah,
Monday
exactly,
to Saturday. Yeah.
exactly.
Mm.
That might even just be a Catholic thing.
Well, the weight of a soul thing, that's in Egyptian mythology and the Greek pantheon and all that sort of stuff. When you get to the afterlife,
Oh, when you get weighed,
yeah, you get
yeah,
weighed and measured on your good
mm,
deeds to see which way you go.
yes,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. Whereas this is on the sins, the Christian um, gods. No,
Well,
yeah.
in the
Anyway,
original
it's
Bible, it was God's.
yeah. No, what I'm getting at is yeah, just the repenting of your sins and getting accepted into heaven at the end of your sinning life.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Seems like a bit of a fucking repeat card sort of thing.
Mm. Yeah.
Anyway,
Reverse.
reverse, Uno reverse.
Yeah.
Your soul is thus imprisoned in these conditions over which the soul apparently has no control. Man must till the soil, women must give birth in travail. However, and this next bit of wisdom is tremendously important, your soul is not completely powerless
Hmm.
because it is eternal, not internal,
Internal.
eternal. The soul comes complete with its own inherent powers, powers that can be rediscovered and activated right here in the material world, though in a fallen state. You, your soul, never lost these powers. They have merely been covered up by the body, rendering them unrecognizable. Masonry exists not only to reveal to man the truth that he is a spiritual soul, but to help him rediscover its higher powers, powers that have been covered up by a physical body. To spark these powers, to turn these powers on, you need to employ a formula involving the Masonic number three. It's a magic formula related to the pairs of opposites and known for centuries in occult circles by one word balance. Balancing the pairs of opposites will lead you to your soul, as Joseph Campbell tells us. As soon as the soul, enters the field of time, it breaks into pairs of opposites. The one becomes two. Now, when you have two, there are just three ways in which you can relate to one another. One way is of this one dominant over that. Another way is of that one dominant over this, and a third way is of the two in balanced accord.
Mm. Do you remember back in the day in the Quest for Self stuff, we spoke about, and this was before the triptych, before everything,
Mm,
we spoke about on one hand, you are the most powerful creator in the universe that ever existed.
mm,
And then on the other hand, you are a drop in the ocean forgot about.
yes.
And your job is to understand both at the same time.
Yeah.
Balance.
100%.
Balance.
Exactly. Balance.
Mm.
This balance of opposites is also known as the harmony of opposites, union of opposites, and reunion of opposites. Even the often used term reconciliation of opposites works. We're told by the occultist Israel Regardie, who served as Aleister Crowley's
I
secretary,
was wondering how long it'd be before his name came up.
only by the reconciliation of opposing forces is the pathway made to true occult knowledge and practical power. Israel Regardie, The Eye in the Triangle, 1970. In other words, you need to join your male right half and your female left half, the twin sun and moon aspects of your physical nature to make the magic happen. Or maybe a bit of sex magic in
Yeah,
Crowley's case.
exactly. Yeah.
Join the male and female, literally,
And you will
and you will
find.
find what you are seeking. aphorisms, and Zosimus.
Zosimus? Yeah,
Zosimus.
Zosimus, yeah.
Zosimus.
Yeah.
Interesting. Look that up, Johnny.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
balance the
what does that mean,
opposites.
John?
Yeah, what does that mean? When you balance the opposites, a mystical awakening occurs akin to the illumination of a light bulb wired to the positive and negative ends of a battery. This awakening involves our suddenly becoming aware of our human organ and human faculty hitherto unknown to us. We can see this hidden organ concealed in plain sight on this Masonic tracing board, which looks like an ancient pagan temple in grey sweatpants. That's what that sounds like.
Mm.
Where's the organ? Show me your organ. Tracing board from Union Lodge in Boston, Massachusetts. First, look at how the twin Jachin and Boaz pillars align with the sun and moon directly above them. Second, note how the tops of the twin pillars form the two lower halves of a triangle. Third, look at the apex of that triangle and notice the luminous eye directly above it. Why an eye? What does the eye stand for? The answer is when you transcend the opposites, you suddenly become illuminated and awakened. When this happens, a mysterious hidden eye suddenly opens in you. Plato called it the eye of the soul. We see the eye here inside a luminous triangle on a centuries-old Masonic lodge in Prague, Czechoslovakia. Freemasons Lodge, Prague, 18th century.
Or the Eye of Horus.
Or the Eye of Horus, the way it is often drawn. According to Plato, in every man there is an eye of the soul, which is far more precious than 10,000 bodily eyes, for by it alone is truth seen. He's right.
You're right, mate.
The eye of the soul is alone naturally adapted to be resuscitated and excited by the mathematical discipline, Plato, the Republic. Did I say something else then? Mathematical discipline?
Mm.
Yeah. Plato's eye of the soul, located in the center of our brains, possibly, just read on, Angus, has historically been called the divine eye, mind's eye, and inner eye. Its real name, however, is the third eye, and it once had colossal importance in Freemasonry. Occultists believe the awakened third eye endows its possessor with higher consciousness, a deeper understanding of life and death, expanded perception, enhanced capacity of self-healing, clairvoyance, intuitive and psychic abilities. The third eye is recognized by Western medicine.
Is not
recognized by Western medicine, but occult tradition explains that the pineal gland is a vestige of what once was a powerful organ. The pineal gland secretes melatonin, a hormone involved in the regulation of sleep cycles. Webster's dictionary gives the following definition for pineal gland: a conical appendage of the brain of all craniate vertebrates that in a few reptiles has the essential structure of an eye, and that is variously postulated to be a vestigial third eye, an endocrine organ, or the seat of the soul.
Also where DMT comes from.
DMT is thought to have come from there.
And fluoride calcifies your third eye.
Yes. And once upon a time, when I was a young man, I knew a gentleman who, in today's terms, might have been called somewhat of a psychonaut. And when I would see him at work, I'd be like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And he'd be like, mate, I'll be polishing my third eye this weekend. That was his
that was his term.
Dude, that was his term. That guy loved his psychedelics. The seat of the soul is exactly how some Renaissance and Enlightenment Western philosophers once described the pineal gland. Rene Descartes called the pineal gland a bridge that connects man's soul and body. This idea is rooted in antiquity. In fact, the farther back in time we look, the more we see the third eye, and not just in one civilization, but among many ancient cultures worldwide. So we see here we've got a diagram showing the eye in the triangle,
Mm.
the all-seeing eye, and then a little symbolism where we have opposite being Jake and Boaz, and then the balance in between.
And I believe that picture is off the American denomination.
That's correct.
Mm.
Which it was, who was the
Yeah,
dude
good
that
there,
got that
Brian.
on
Yeah,
there?
it was a Mason. Yeah.
It was a Mason.
Mm.
A lot of presidents have been Masons.
Hmm.
As we can see here, the Masonic triangle, which derives from ancient symbolism, denotes more than just balancing life's dualities. It stands for the awakened third eye that occurs when life's dualities are balanced. A design the founding fathers sketched on the Great Seal of the United States. The third eye in the triangle signifies an illuminated human being who has balanced his opposites. Excuse me.
We're keeping you up, mate.
And who is now able to see his inner soul. I'll go to the bottom of this and I'll swap over, mate, and I'll
That's okay.
try and recover.
We're
And
probably nearly done for
and
tonight.
consequently knows he is an eternal God, temporarily inhabiting an animal body, a God who has never been born and will never die. This idea sounds strange to many of us in the West, but deep thinkers like psychologist Carl Jung understood the antiquity and universality of these ideas.
Mm.
Unfortunately, our Western mind, lacking all culture in this respect, has never yet devised a concept nor even a name for the union of opposites through the middle path, that most fundamental item of inward experience. It is at once the most individual act and the most universal and most legitimate fulfillment of the meaning of the individual's life. That is from Collected Works of Carl Jung. Here you go, brother. Give this over to you. Shebang.
Thanks, mate. Well, look, but I think maybe we're reaching our point where we're going to probably call it anyway.
Yeah,
And ending on Carl Jung is probably a pretty good way to do it because I mean
absolutely, mate.
we can open up the discussion a little bit further next time. However, I think look, I'm going to stop share there. I'm going to stop share there.
Stop share there.
Yeah. So I think the saying that came to me is one of my favorite sayings, and it's at the start of every single presentation I put together. And that saying is the fact that science and spirituality are deemed separate does a disservice to them both.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the there was a divide where materialistic science left religion and religion was seen as bad, and you know the Renaissance, or whichever way, the Industrial Revolution, however you want to put it, where material science took place of true spirituality, right, and the control of the church and all those sorts of things. And I think what I liked about this episode tonight was it gives the people, you know, this is stuff that we've been seeing in structures, we've been seeing in research for years and years and years since we did the triptych stuff. And it just gives a good understanding of how common it actually is, this balance, this dark, this light, the force, the sun, the moon. It's all around us. And the quest for that balance and understanding that balance. And I think my thought around it is that in order to elicit control, we needed to deny that this inner soul, this God, this higher self actually existed.
Mm.
Because, you know, you can never reach the mightiness of the Christian God, right?
Yep.
You know, Jesus died for your sins. You can never be as pure as he is.
Mm.
And that's the symbol, right? If you go into a church, it's Jesus hanging on the cross, right? In the middle with the sun and the moon opposite still, but he's in the middle. Whereas it's not him, it's us.
Yeah.
And it's all of us. And I think I'm curious to see where he goes. I did wonder how long before Crowley's name was going to be brought up. And I think as you said, Crowley.
Well, it's just a prominent figure in this world of Hermeticism or ancient esotericism.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So he had to come up when you're going to drop names, sort of thing.
And we don't live in the Matrix.
No.
But remember the book that I grabbed.
Secrets of
of
the
the Soul,
Soul.
which is the very thing that we've been talking about all night. And I grabbed that book hours ago.
Yes, you did.
Another book by Dr. Bodhi Sanders, who's coming back on the show very soon. So I think, mate, unless you've got anything else.
No, mate, let's get down to business.
All right.
Oh, he's gone early in the book.
Mm.
Yeah, he got a feeling early. He's opening the book, reading the page.
Is it important to be self-sufficient?
Hmm. In what way?
In what does being self-sufficient mean to you? Are you self-sufficient? In what ways are you self-sufficient? How do you know? If you aren't self-sufficient, who or what do you depend on? In what ways are you dependent? What would happen if someone or something that you depend on was suddenly no longer available for you? Do you think that you could survive if the people and the things that you depend on were suddenly no longer available to you? Do you know how to provide for your own food and water and your basic needs? Do you think it is important to be self sufficient? Why or why not? And the bottom one is never depend on anyone except yourself. And the other one is too, how will you live when you retire? Are you planning ahead for your retirement? How do you plan on living when you retire? Is your whole life already centered on your retirement? Are you sacrificing the present for the future? Or are you living life to its fullest while you also plan for the future? Where do you plan on living? Do you believe that your life is coming to an end when you retire, or is it just the next chapter of your vibrant life that has been lived to the fullest? That happens so much, right? People retire and they just die
Absolutely.
because their function has been taken away.
Well, they don't have a purpose.
What is your attitude toward your golden years? Look at this. That's profound, man. We are always getting ready to live, but never living.
Mm.
And guess who it is? Ralph Waldo Emerson, who we just heard.
Bullshit. I was waiting for us to get to the fucking zinger, but there it is.
And there it is.
Boom.
Another one in the books, mate. Hey, this is cool.
In the bag.
This is cool,
Thank
man.
you so much. This is fantastic.
This is fantastic. We're excited. We're excited to do the next one. We miss you, John.
Come back.
Yeah.
That was hard.
It was hard.
Do like a search.
And we had all these questions. We couldn't get the answer.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope you liked that one, guys. Until next time, peace out.
See you later.
Cheers.
Catch ya.
Bye.
Have a rum.